Oh, yes, 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 yes. We are live. We are live. This is 17th of September, and it is once again we are here. SeeJeanty doing special work. I want to welcome folks, those who may be watching after the fact. Hello, welcome. Skip a little bit. You go ahead, just skip it. You know how we do it. The real chatty content is going to start just a bit. Cheers to my coffee drinkers out there. Quite frankly, I didn't think I'd be here this Sunday. We had so much going on, uh, personally speaking, the wife and all that. But we're here. That's a good sign. But per usual, I'm going to go ahead and do our prep work in the back. Just a one man team here this Sunday, and we're going to go ahead and do some things in the back here. I want to give folks about 2 3 minutes as we really get the show up and running. We got a good show ahead of us. We had a real special guest, someone who's doing some fantastic work. One of the most common things I receive um, in terms of request DMs, it generally is about real estate. And we have someone who has an incredible project, doing some incredible work in that real estate domain. And I'm really excited to have him on and talk about that. But of course, we're going to talk about a few other things too right before, really what I've been hitting in the DMs and really what I've been preparing. Basically, I want to use this live as sort of a pre-show or a pre-episode, to kind of talk about, those things and kind of preview what we're going to be doing. And I'm excited. I'm excited. We're gonna have a really good show ahead of us. Of course, drop the comments. Let folks know what you're thinking. Participate. It's a conversation. It's a two-sided conversation, and you're equally a part of this. All right. So, anyways, I'll be right back. We out here and we are streaming officially Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. I'm waiting for you guys to get me the 1,000 minimum I need for TikTok so I can stream on that too. Yeah, that's on y'all. James Lou, what's up? Good morning. Chill, good morning. Say what's up. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We got a lot of folks in here. We got Zai connected. Good morning. Morning. Sam. Good morning. What's up? Cheers for all my coffee drinkers out there. I got a proper styrofoam cup. I got to invest in that. Man, you got you're in $1,000 plus studio and you're drinking out of a plastic cup. Anyways, good morning. Good morning. We're going to jump right into the usual top of the hour stuff. We got a real special show ahead of us. We got a good friend we're gonna be talking to us in a bit. Who's I can tell you, it's a person who rivals myself when it comes to productivity and doing things in Haiti. And he has a new project concerning real estate, something that's probably one of the most requested thing. Easily, the most DM thing that goes on, and I'm really excited. He has a really interesting, I'll leave it to him to describe it. Right, venture initiative. Right, so stay tuned for that. We're not going to spend too much time until we transition and speak with him. But before then, we got some things we're going to be talking about. We got to talk about the intervention, where we at. The UN apparently has said, yo, they by Haiti sa mbaladan. Apparently they put a pause on it, right? As if the gangs and the heinous things that are happening right now in the country, as if that stopped because they took a pause. And then of course we got to talk about the canal. Probably the number one thing I've been hit up on Twitter, in my DMs across the board has been the canal. And also getting you guys a reference. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that today. So really top of our stuff real quick. Bien rapide. Et nèg sa m'bagay qu'un problème avec créole nous c'est l'engagement nous. OK, c'est racine nous, racine qui connecté avec zanzetio et même les bon, m'gadou et m'ba want même les accent il pas trop belle nos oreilles quelques moun but c'est pas qui me parler, c'est pas qui me fier de créole nous. Et mais simplement c'est que nous avons une mission là. Mission c'est pour nous partager et nouvelles, partager en perspective internationale. Et en plus, nous vraiment construire ce business. Et le langage business c'est anglais. À la Chine, à la France, à l'Allemagne, à n'importe pays. Si c'est topic là c'est business. 8 fois à la 10, yo basé conversation en anglais. So qu'on a pas faute parce que tout m'gè en considération que m'vle Haïti, base problème Haïti c'est un problème chômage, c'est un problème moun bagage chercher travail, moi vle l'autre monde du monde connaît qui bon, même les moments il est difficile dans quelques zones pour université, mais il y a des côtés nous avancer et pour yo venir pour yo mettre travail sous place ou pas fâcher avec moi qui m'a parlé anglais à l'autre monde pour comprendre la situation, pour pas paix et pas seulement paix pour jouer une stratégie qui travaille pour eux. Et bien c'est comme dit l'autre monde c'est haïtien tout. Diaspora, il y a des haïtiens qui parlent anglais. Actuellement, il y a une bail qui a toujours dit haïtien, c'est une rare race qui nous avons du motalingal plus que l'autre. Vous comprenez? So, anyways, nous just toujours va avisement ça pour nous comprendre bien. Les qui devant là sont haïtiens. OK? Nous avons fierté pour que nous, mais simplement nous avons une mission qui est très haut. Et c'est le moment, c'est la raison que dans le moment nous parlons créole, nous parlons anglais, mais ils vont jouer bientôt que là bien l'autre monde qui a fait ça m'a faire et laisse ça n'a construire toute bail nous créole net. OK? Mais pour qu'on y a l'autre monde qui a fait ça m'a faire mission trop important et voilà mais nous. OK? As per usual, just a little quick top of the hour reminder, your boy can't drop the Creole accent or not. and why we do it, which is just, we gotta, we're trying to get an understanding out to a wider group, a wider populace, right? Of course, Simple Haitian brand. Everything you see behind me, right? From the cassava to the Haitian G Shela to the Jonjon, our top seller Jonjon, right? You got Bouche Chocolat back here, right? Everything you see back there, 100% grown in Haiti. Also, we have other products. Shout out to Haitian Lalo that I sell. That comes out of Marché des Salines, big seller right now for us. Shout out to Cafe Lux out of Jacmel. We're selling that too. Shout out. We're bringing in a lot of other products that, quite frankly, if you're in South Florida, chances are, you're when you pop that cap open, it's coming through hyper distribution. But if you're online, if you're not in South Florida and you're online, chances are what you need to do is hit this link that I'm about to give you right here. It's an Amazon link. And heck, you just type in Simple Haitian 100%. What you see here, just type that, just like that. Simple Haitian in Amazon. You'll see real quick some of our branded products. But again, chances are, if it's a Haitian product, you're gonna see it in Amazon real quick if you're not already seeing it. Okay, and that's what we're doing. As I always say, I'm entrepreneur first, media-ist second, and we're focused on Haiti, getting us out, when I say us, remember, we, everything you see here, there's a Haitian producer I'm working with. So when you buy that, I pay myself a meager salary. Okay, your man has a lot of different hustles, so I'm depending on the other hustles to live with a meager salary, so I can get as much of that revenue and funneling back to buying more product and keeping up with the demand. Because I'm telling you, demand's being outpaced. I can't keep up with it. So check out the link. Book is out. Don't you forget, 101 Ways to Make Money in Haiti, right? And it's not just my story. It's a story of countless others. It's lots of case studies of individuals I've interviewed over the years. And we're talking about what they've done, what they're doing, how they're doing it. It's on Amazon right now. Type in 101 Ways to Make Money in Haiti. A lot of the questions you guys asked me, it's in that book, How to Maximize Your Success. I didn't do it to make money. I did it just because I can't respond to every DM. I don't have time to be a pen pal to everybody. No disrespect. So that information that you're probably asking, chances are it's in that book. So check that book out. And the funds go to support what we got going on here, because we have a whole team in Haiti. Actually, when we're producing content in Haiti, we have a whole team, and those funds go to supporting the team and also supporting the equipment that we have here. Oh, and speaking of equipment, oh man, hold on, y'all give me a second. So it happens when you're one-man show. You forget the lights. Forget the lights, man. Tripping. I'm talking about equipment. Spent too much money on this equipment not to get it used. Right? So yeah, the SeeJeanty.com/shop to check out the book. And a lot of the stuff we talked about here, you can also find it there. SeeJeanty.com/shop for that. Private WhatsApp group, that's probably the most direct way. A lot of folks who want to engage and chat with me directly. I'm in that group, and it's a private Patreon. It's just like it sounds. It's a private WhatsApp group. Folks provide a monthly amount in there, and we're talking about current events. We're talking about your particular business venture. You're talking about what you're trying to do. We're exchanging ideas. We're exchanging strategies. It's quite frankly, if it wasn't for that app, for that channel, I would delete WhatsApp, because WhatsApp, particularly if you're in Haitian groups, is just a cesspool of negativity, resharing, tripotai, and just really a bottomless pit of nonsense and dribble. And I can tell you straight up, the private WhatsApp group is a breath of fresh air. And the folks that are in there are some of the most genuine folks I know. And most importantly, they're supporting a fantastic initiative for supporting the growth of this media, because quite frankly, YouTube algorithms, they don't like pushing out positive stories on Haiti. If I was producing most dangerous city in the world, gangs in Haiti, I'd be instantly pushed to 100,000, right? But because I'm actually trying to build a community of builders, right? YouTube got no time for that, and so we need to supplement the AdSense with what the private WhatsApp group is. It's a monthly Patreon, and but you get value directly out of it. Your participation in it adds value. And listen, you can be in there. You don't have to agree. I have folks in there we don't agree. It's fine, but the ideas are being exchanged, folks are being challenged, and so please keep in mind to be a part of it. It's a SeeJeanty.com/private WhatsApp group, right? And again, of course, hyperdistribution.com. That's the core business that's bringing stuff out of Haiti. A lot of different products. We're looking to expand in the coming years. We're doing fantastic. Lights out. It is a Haitian diaspora initiative. We raised 6 figures plus amongst the diaspora to get this business going. Investments has closed. We've closed investments. Okay, so sorry, you missed your boat. but this is a great case study of what the diaspora can do when we pour our money together. When Haitians say we can't work together, send them over to SeeJeanty. Send them over to hyperdistribution.com and let them know this is a diaspora initiative that's doing real work, right? Real impactful stuff, and prove them wrong, right? And we're making a case study of what we can do. And in the future, we'll be doing more stuff, more impactful stuff, structural things, because we're about that action here at SeeJeanty, right? We're about that action. So that was the top of the hour stuff. Thanks for listening to it. Those who listen to it all the time, I try to do a little spin on it each time, so it's a little fresh, right? Man, we got so much to talk about. And but I think I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I think what I want to do actually for this first time, rather than jump into some of the things we have to talk about one-on-one, I think I'm gonna go ahead and maybe invite our guest to speak first, because this guy is a busy guy. It's a privilege to have him on, and I don't want him to be sitting in the lobby too long. We can talk about what we're going to talk about after, as long as we need to. But I want to bring this guy on. It's, the fella, his name, inside joke, is Jackie Poteau, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because we've had him on SeeJeanty before. One of his projects, when we went to Mir Ballet, the ILC, Innovative Learning Concepts. If I have the acronym wrong, he'll correct me when he gets on there. And it's a learning center where a lot of the youth within the community in Mir Ballet come together to engage in technology, engage in app building, engage in English speaking, and really, as the name implies, is a center for innovation, right? In the Central Plateau, which really wasn't a thing. Since then, though, he's started, and that's been doing fantastic. But since then, he's been working on a real estate project, a really, really interesting real estate project where you in the diaspora, okay, can go ahead, contribute, and assist in acquiring real estate, right? And so I'm gonna let him break that process down. When I saw what it was, I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was a way to engage. Quite frankly, I was a little jealous because like, oh, this is something that maybe in 5 years from now, I probably would have thought of to do, And so, but he's doing it right now, and I'm a big proponent of, why create something competing when you can plug into what someone's doing and support it. And that's one of the issues we have in the Haitian community, as Black people in general, but in our Haitian community as well. We don't think to look to and support others, right? We try to go off, do our own things. It's undercapitalized, it's under-supported, it's under-resourced, and it fails. Or instead, if we had looked to support the other, then those trends turn around, right? By the way, just real quick, I want to say what's up to a few folks on LF in the house. What's up? What's up? Terry Daniel in the house. What is up? Joshua Jean. What's up? Cloud 14. What's up? Respect. Salute. We got that name I can't say, but I say the second part of that name, which is Nelson. Good to see you, Nelson. Right? And do we have anybody in the chat? Oh yeah, listen, y'all don't be shy now. Y'all go ahead and drop it. What's up? It's a conversation we're having, and you are always welcome to say a word or two, and it's appreciated, right? But without further ado, I want to welcome my man, Jackie Poteau. What is up, Jackie? How you doing, man?
Good, excellent, man. You're doing good job, and blessed Sunday to you and your listeners, your viewers. I'm happy to be here, man. I'm in Florida. I'm in the neck of the woods.
You're in my neck of the woods, and you ain't tell me, man. Shame on you, Jackie. We gotta fix that. We gotta fix that. I know I'm busy. You're busy, but we gotta fix that. If you're in my neck of the woods, you gotta let me know. So we can do something. You could have been in the studio live, maybe. I would have changed the setup for you. You know what I mean?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh no,
Chris, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Give me 1 second. I'm having a little trouble here with my.
No problem. Let's
work
through technical difficulties. I can hear you.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'm just texting real quick.
Can you hear me, Chris?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Uh-oh. Okay.
All right, let's let Jackie work through his technical difficulties there. But yeah, look forward to the conversation we're about to have. You know, it's needed. I think it's so important. I think I want to probably cut it, and then have it stand out by itself. Because again,
can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
I was saying I'm in Palm Bay now, looking into real estate.
Okay, nice. And I was saying, yeah, next time you're in South Florida, make sure to let me know. You could have been in the studio with me if I knew you were in South Florida.
Yeah,
or just in general.
Yeah, I'm actually coming back, looking into relocating to the Sunshine State. So definitely
okay. But so at the same time too, because I know you always had a foothold in Boston, but still you're always doing a lot of activities, a lot of action in Haiti. So I don't think it's gonna be it's too different, right? But your activities in Haiti still, right?
Yeah. Actually, I just returned from Haiti a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the Central Plateau celebrating the 300th anniversary since Paroisse Saint Louis, the St. Louis parish, became a parish. We're talking about before independence.
Mm-hmm.
We were there to celebrate 300 years. So I just came back from Haiti. Everything is the same.
Nice. Now, no, actually. So, man, where do we start the conversation, Jackie? Because what I want to ask you is, I know your activities. You had a lot. You used to be on the road a lot, given the what you had going on. Let me help out my friends on IG real quick and put these guys part of the conversation. Let me flip it there so they can kind of at least keep up somewhat with what's going on, right? I think you see a good chunk of the warehouse. Good for them. Let me switch it, put it over here. There we go. That's even better. You can actually see the view a little better. See, and so my question, Jackie. Let's start from the beginning. Jackie, who are you? Where are you from? Right.
I was born in Haiti, more specifically in Port-au-Prince, but I grew up in Mirebalais. I left Haiti when I was 24 years old, and I came straight to Boston at 24 years old by myself, looking for a better life. I decided in 2006 to focus on Haiti. But prior to that, I attended school at Boston University, so I have a background in social work. Hence my desire to change the world, or at least contribute to changing it. I have a master in social work from Boston University, as well as a master in medical informatics.
Now, were you born in Haiti?
I was born in Haiti. I left when I was 24.
Mm-hmm.
But 2006, I decided to, give back to Haiti what I got for free, basically.
Yeah,
So I started.
you're a grown man when you left. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then of course transitioning to America. How was that like? How was I know you went to some schools and you made school a priority, right? Which is fantastic. But how was that transition from growing up 20? What year was that when you came here? What was it in the
I
90s?
I came here in '87.
Okay, all
In
right.
here,
So the country was still somewhat. I think Duval had just stepped down. It hadn't gotten
86.
too chaotic yet, right?
That was the following year. Yeah. In fact, I was in hiding the week leading to Jean-Claude Duvalier leaving the country.
Okay. And why were you in hiding?
Just because I went to school, Anyone
Oh, okay.
anyone who finished school at the time was considered some type of, I don't know,
Interesting. Okay.
threat
Yeah,
to
I like
Jean-Claude Duvalier.
hearing
So
about
I was in hiding.
those periods. In '86, I was just born.
Exactly.
So, it's over in the second hand. And okay, and so transitioning
So I
to
left.
I mean, how did you
After that?
go ahead.
Yeah, was yeah. There's a little bit of a delay, but was tough because it took me a while to to learn English, to start practicing English. There was this pride on my part because I was a philosopher in Haiti. So when I came here, I didn't want to make mistakes speaking English. So of course I never opened my mouth.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it took
And
a
so,
good while, and then
how long was your career in America before you decided to transition back? Was it you spent like 10 years, 5 years, or was it almost right away? Were you doing work in Haiti back and forth?
no, I mean I waited until 2006, so that's a good almost 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
Almost
really
20 years before I decided,
lived
well,
the diaspora
let me
life there.
exactly.
Okay. And so when you decided to engage, why? What was it? Was it a singular event or was it just time?
It's one of those awakening moments. I was like, I grew up in Haiti. I went to school for free. As a citizen, I need to give back to my community, to my country, and that's how I decided to create FATEM at the time with a couple of my friends. And we were focusing on training for teachers, technology in school, in education, basically, and that was it. So we were in existence for a good 8 years. We built two schools, one very close to the hospital in Miambale, and the other one is on your way to Port-au-Prince from Miambale. So we built two schools in 2010, right after the earthquake. And then I stepped down in 2014 from FATEM, but with the objective to get back into the game with something different, and because we were always about creating jobs for young people in Haiti, and that's how we came up with innovative learning concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard you mention ILC at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. Basically, we focused on English language. Well, let's say language acquisition. We start with English, but eventually we're gonna get into Spanish, French, German, any language that the world is really looking for at this point.
And what about Creole? And a big request from some folks in the diaspora to me is usually they're trying to improve their Creole or even start
Oh yeah,
Creole from scratch.
definitely.
You
Yeah,
guys help with that?
I'm on the SeeJeanty WhatsApp group, and
Mm-hmm.
we talked about that. A couple of colleagues want to learn Creole, and we open to offering a remote class via Zoom, and most importantly, conversation sessions.
And I know because of the center has really fast internet. I know it really has become a place for folks just doing anything, really anything, work tech in technology, because you guys have a special relationship. I think it was Access Haiti that you guys have a really fast
We
internet.
have Starlink, actually. We have
Oh,
Starlink.
Starlink now, even better, right? And
Yep.
so it's a place where I'm aware, app developers and technologists in the area, they come together, they do different work together, they collaborate.
Exactly. And you've been there. You went there for a visit.
Yeah.
In fact, since you left, we built the second floor.
Oh yeah.
We have a hall, a big hall that can accommodate 100 to 110 people.
Wow, wow,
And
wow.
the plan is to actually put a contact center in there. What we used to call call center, contact center up there, and start employing some young people.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Sure.
Now, while you were doing all that, you're working for an organization as a director. You want to talk about that?
Community engagement. I work for Haiti Development Institute. Started with them in 2017 in Boston. Then we transitioned to Haiti. We are based in Arcaille, but most of my work, I'd say 95% of my work is remote. And I'm right now a consultant with Haiti Development Institute as a partnership manager. But it's really back and forth between ILC and HDI or Haiti Development Institute. Some of the programs we implement at ILC, we can then bring them to Arcaille to implement as well. And sometimes, we try programs at HDI that we can in turn implement.
How has it been? I know this when the security situation really started to degrade. I'm assuming you had to stop your commutes back and forth, right?
Definitely. It used to be that whenever I go to Haiti, I would travel back and forth between Mirebalais and Arcaille. Not anymore. I mean, the last time I was in Arcaille was in October. In fact, it's really hard to get into Arcaille at this point.
Right, a lot of back roads, or because you're using the main roads, right? When you do go, it's back roads. I'm assuming, right?
Back roads, yeah. You could go through Sodo, but you can't cross Canaan, or Petite Rivière,
right?
If you're going from Verret or Saint-Marc.
Right. Yeah, and that's a big problem in our country right now. There's so many places. Listen, I remember in 2017. It was 11 o'clock at night. Me and my extended family, we were driving through Matissa 11 o'clock at night, carefree. I was at the back of a truck. 2017. So different times. How quickly things change in the country, man. By myself, I used to back and forth with me and my wife. We used to, today's Saturday. It's because her family's in Carrefour, and so we would just hop in the car. And all right,
but I remain hopeful, and I know you're die hard, man. You never lose hope, and I mean it has to change at some point,
No, I'm positive because if it can change so quickly in the negative, it will change very quickly in the positive. That is, that's it. That's what it is. So I just asked that because I know when the earthquake happened, you were on the road. You were telling me that story one time. You were when the earthquake happened in 2011 because you're so much on the road. You were on the road even for the earthquake, and tell us about that story about how you were like in the middle of the street and you're seeing things moving and things breaking down.
That's how we recognized was an earthquake. I was in Croix-des-Bouquets, going from Hesh to Port-au-Prince, and that's when it hit. And that actually changed me forever. It changed me. And there's something called survivor's guilt. When you go through something like this, you survive it, the immediate reaction is to blame yourself. Why is it that, why me? Why did God save me? And immediately you want to give something back. So that's how we became focused on I started Fatem in 2006. The earthquake hit in 2010. But it just reinforces my desire to really give something.
You double down. You add all the chips on the table at that point. That's forward. So let's talk about why we're here. You have this real estate project. Walk us through it. What is it? Why is it? How much is it? Go ahead.
It's at this point it's an idea. It's really on paper, but I guess I was just thinking about things that we could do differently in Haiti. I mean, we've been doing a lot of things, but they mostly repeat of what other people have done. So, what is it that we can do differently? And Chris, you've shown us the way, basically. So I was just thinking, well, what is it that I can do differently? My dad passed away and left us 3 brothers, 2 cows de terre. So, and immediately I said, well, if you divide that by 3, I get about 66 centième. A centième is like 1 cow divided by 100. And I actually sold.
So just folks really know, it's 1,200 square feet. That's just roughly.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I sold 12 centième and then another 5 centième. Then decided, well, instead of just selling, little lots of land, why don't I just, do something else? Build something like Vivi Michel or Belleville in Haiti. And then another concept came to mind, to sell land on credit. So when I talk to people about selling land on credit, they're like, I've never heard of this before. But guess what? You can't really put a piece of land in a bag and run away with it. So the key is to just create documents that can that explain that someone has poor ownership of a piece of land, when the survey is completed or when they've paid whatever they owe. So that's how I came up with the concept of asking people to give 10 or 20% down, and then give them probably 6 months to a year to pay the balance. But from the get-go, they'll know they'll be part of a community. So at this point, what we're doing is putting a team together. We're going to actually divide the 2 cow into lots, and then assign lots to, sell those different lots to people. So, but what we want to do differently is have, as I said, a community, a fence in the US, they call it gated community, but have something like a community hall where residents can come. If, say, you're having a party, you don't have to pile people up in your living room. You can actually use the community room. We also want to have, in addition of EDH, electricity from EDH, we want to have something like a solar system that can actually accommodate the entire community. We also want to install a water treatment system. We also want to put a trash collection and trash collection and management system as well. So something different, so people can really feel that they have access to the basic things, where they're living. But the most important thing is them coming together. So we have different programs. We can choose to have tutorials on tools that people use every day, things that can really bring people together as a community, because we're not really used to that. If you take one of those things in Port-au-Prince, everyone has like a generator, but we want a system that can really accommodate the entire complex. So that's what we're trying to put together. At this point, we haven't started selling yet, because there's a lot of things we need to have in place. We need to build a road leading to the complex. We need to know how much it's gonna cost to dig a well, maybe install a water treatment system. So all these different things we have to figure out before we decide, well, this is how much we're gonna sell each lot. But we sell no less than 5 centième, but no more than 10.
Now, I mean, you make sure I understand. So the lot of land you're starting with, is that the one you said that was with you and your brothers, or is that just inspired the idea?
No, the one that me and my brothers we own. That's because we heirs to my dad, so he left us 2 cow. That's the one we're using now to build.
Okay, okay, I heard cow. Okay, so that's great, because that's a good way to start with actually your land, because there isn't any issues or disputes.
There's no conflict or anything. So
excuse me.
Bless you.
There isn't any dispute or conflict. That land's yours, and it's going to be a proof of concept, right? Because if you can make that work there, then you can go ahead and duplicate that other places. Once again, you reaffirm the ownership.
Right? That's exactly the idea. That's exactly it's copy and paste.
Right.
So we wanna use that land because there's no dispute, as you said, and we know it well. And we don't have to spend money purchasing it. It's already there. We're gonna try that, but already I have colleagues calling me from the south, from the north, and said, "Well, you could come here and do the same thing."
Right, because I know a lot. I mean, we got folks watching right now that they got land from their family that's not doing anything.
Sure.
And how awesome would it be if what you're developing now, once it's proven to work, and
Yeah,
be
yeah,
duplicable for the diaspora? Now, of course, it takes reputable people to do it, right, and follow through. But I'm sure you can. It's almost like a franchise model. You get to give them the playbook, follow it step by step, and execute it the same way. Right.
yeah. And at some point, the plan is to bring in investors. I've talked to a couple of people from SeeJeanty WhatsApp group. They're interested in investing in affordable housing in Haiti. You
Right.
know, imagine how many young professionals that are living and working in Port-au-Prince now, but they would love to have a place outside of Port-au-Prince to come.
No, when I worked in Jackmail for a year, 2021, launching two major businesses. One was a poultry farm,
Yeah.
and the other one was an industrial bakery. And they're still there, still operating. That's one of the biggest positives of the young folks we hired and were working within that project, those ventures,
Sure.
was that they were so tremendously appreciative of not having to be in Port-au-Prince.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that they, and you guys, their hometown was Jacmel, and so they could stay
Yeah.
in their hometowns.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, especially nowadays, but it's always been that way from my understanding. No one really wants to go to Port-au-Prince. It's just that Port-au-Prince has become the commercial have-to-go center for work, jobs, school, right? Universities are there. There's universities. We're so centralized. If the majority of Haitians would very much prefer to stay in the very nearby the localities of which they grew up.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, take Miambale from Kwadebuke. Miambale is about 45, 50 minutes. And as you know, with internet and of course electricity, there's a lot of things you can do remotely. I mean, you work remotely for for a long time. There's a lot of things we can do. You can study online. So we're open to that. And as you know, we're also exploring at Astra. Well, it's a temporary name, but that's a technology center we're looking at across from the national road where we're going to be building this gated community. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot on our plate.
I speaking with Eve, I believe Eve Lamaire, who was running the Cap Haitian real estate project. I've highlighted, one of the biggest difficulties he expressed was, of course, getting the land. It took a lot of negotiation, conversations, purchasing to get the very large lot of land that he was working on. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think it's a great idea that you're starting already with a lot of land there's no dispute, it's your land. And now you can just start with the fun stuff, which is actually getting the documentation, legal structures, finalized, get these set up. But how are you thinking about that? Like, how, is it going to be, you already said 10% down, or was it 20%? What did you say?
It hasn't been finalized, but more like 20% down. And you have up to
you make payments. You make payments up until, right? But would it be that you don't start doing work until they reach a certain amount, or right away with that 20%, they start doing work? You start doing work.
No, they won't be able to. I mean, we want it to be. We don't want any surprise. You sign an agreement that says, well, I give 15 or 20% down. I make so many payments, either every month or every 3 months, and then once I have a zero balance, we initiate the survey. We go to the notary, and then we transfer ownership, and that should happen 30 days after you've made your last payment. And to make sure that's the case.
Oh, interesting. So that's what it is. I'm sorry, I'm understanding now. So what we're talking about is literally that land you're selling. That it's not necessarily you're selling the development, to develop it. You're selling that land. Is that right?
We're selling a lot.
But how does that work in the? Okay. So you would. Okay, I get it. Just like Belleville. Belleville is really, if you know what Belleville is, that's the really nice area on Route Frais in Petroville. And so the way they had it set up, they created the lots. A lot of those land, the properties you see there, they're owned by individuals and they're created by individuals, not created by a single development group. But it's pre-lots. It's sold in lots, right? But within a community that is pre-developed, right? And so that's what you're meaning. So you're talking about literally, okay, you're gonna, so that means in that community, your development group is gonna be responsible for the roads and these other, at least the initial build out, right? And those are gonna be probably HOA or some sort of fee.
There's infrastructure we as a team need to have in place,
Right.
Water, roads, electricity. What else did I say? Yeah. So those things should be in place, and then you choose. Let's say you choose lot 10. You give 10% down. Then you continue to make payment until you have a zero balance. We do the survey. We transfer all the paper, and we refer you to a builder, because we're gonna be working with an assigned building company, but you don't have to use that company, except that you'll sign paper that says, well, there are restrictions, there are some principles. You cannot just decide to add another floor to your house at any time or paint it in red, but you can certainly come up with any other building company that, any other builder that you
building codes and building preferences.
Exactly. So people are flexible. We are flexible in this at this point, and people should be able to bring whichever company they want, except that they need to respect those different principles.
So it's so it's very, the concept is in this early phase, but I know, Jack, you're one of the few rare people that I don't bet against, and you're one of the few rare people that what you say you do, right, and you follow through with.
Thank you.
Which is why I wanted to really help you and do something I really do, which is help folks very early stage, right? Because to me it's about track record, and the one best way to prove a track record is to do it. A lot of folks don't have any track record, so they need to just start doing the idea, and then once you get to a point where, okay, this person isn't full of ish, okay. Let's see what we can do to really promote and get the story out. But I know you're about that action, which is why I wanted to get you in front of the audience early, get this idea out early, because I really like it. I really like it because, quite frankly, that is a step where we're going to take the SeeJeanty community in the future, where we want to continue to do what hyper distribution is doing, which is getting these Haitian products out, and we want to be doing a lot more, in terms of exporting our product out, right? Different variable products. But real estate is a very important arm that I really want to engage the SeeJeanty community with soon. I say soon. My timeline is 5-10 years, and something like that where folks can invest either in a lot of land in a community, perhaps in something similar to a REIT, real estate investment trust, something like that, where folks can provide, funds, get shares, get dividends, really understand that they're directing development in the real estate space. I haven't fully fleshed out the way it's going to be, but I just know that is the final leg. Right now, we've developed the hand, the feet, one leg, but the final leg is that piece. But so that's why, anything real estate, because drive around Haiti, fly into Haiti, and what's the very first thing that pops up at you? The amount of houses unbuilt, the amount of empty space that are left untouched, the amount of development that needs to be done, and the fact that we don't have a single skyscraper.
Not
a single one. We got some really nice tall towers and stuff, but we don't have a single skyscraper. Right? I'm not going to be as bold to say our goal is to be the first, but I'm telling you, we're going to have a skyscraper.
Yeah, that's what
I want to get skyscraper done, right? And seismic, folks are going, seismic, it's an earthquake. Taiwan is 20 times more seismic. Mexico City is 20 times more seismic, but guess what? Skyscrapers. California is I mean, we're still waiting for that big one that's going to completely wreck stuff. But they got a skyscraper, right? And so you can't tell me because Haiti's seismically active. We just got to build it right, and it can be built right, right?
Yeah, and there's a technology out there for that,
right? And so that's the direction we got to go, And I am not about, in the community here we have here isn't a community about waiting and pointing blame. It's about how can we work together to get it done, right? And so that's why, again, I wanted to encourage what you got going on and what you're doing. If folks want to learn more about your project, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, I'm an open book. I mean, they can text me on WhatsApp, 508-577-3488.
508. What?
577-3488.
That is your WhatsApp. Let me put that +1 in front of
it. People text me first, then I get back to them. You may call me, but I may not answer right away. And then you can email me jpoto, that's JPOTEAU @gmail.com. That's first initial, last name. That's it. I mean, we putting a team together at this point, and we have an architect / engineer with us, a lawyer. That's very important. You know what's going on with poverty in Haiti, titles and everything. So if we're gonna buy a piece of land to develop, we wanna make sure it's coming from the legitimate owner or owners. We have a couple of lawyers with us. We'll have a notary. We'll have a surveyor. But most importantly, we want to automate our process. Gone the days when notaire gen pou yo écrit tout ça avec ça en plume sur mon papier. No, we want this to be, everything to be on computer. We want to communicate with our customers via email. Give them 3D tool of the complex, use of augmented reality, all kinds of tools. That's out there in real estate. We're gonna be able to use some of those. So,
I love it. And listen, Jackie, I look forward to having you back on for updates as you move forward. I look forward to visiting, the project physically. We are going to be, our footprint is going to be back in Haiti in 2024. So, as you progress onward, we're going to be, there in Haiti, and we look forward to flying our drones over the land and seeing the progress, right? And heck, listen, if I can make the right money moves, perhaps I'll be a lot owner.
Yeah, you already invited me. There's so much we can do, and people need a place to stay. We can offer things that are similar to what I'm looking at here in Florida, and this is where you grew up, right? You know exactly what a gated community looks like. Well, we can do the same thing.
I agree.
There's no
and I remember actually Mirabale, when we were there together, you took me to a place that I remember.
Yeah, that's Renaissance.
Yeah. How's that place doing? Right.
Good. I stayed there for a good 5 days.
Right.
Last time I was in Haiti. It's really nice.
It's beautiful. The drive-in, first off, with the trees was freaking awesome.
Oh,
and then when you finally get to the village, the Renaissance Village, the name.
Yeah. And
it's really nice.
To the hotel that's on top of that mountain. Remember?
Yeah, that was nice too. But the village, have they built more properties? I know they had built.
The other wants to build some more properties, but Airbnb types.
Yeah,
and develop something that's like a gated community.
Right. So have they made progress on that, or is it
not yet? I think he's just starting. The new construction right there. But
gotcha. See, and that's why it's so important that we build something like this, because it should be done by now. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, no fault to him, but Haiti doesn't make it easy for sure. But we want to make sure projects like that, they shouldn't languish. It should be done and be able to be a symbol for others to say, "Oh man, they did it. We can do it too."
I agree. I mean, we don't have a lot of money, but there's money somewhere. I always say
there's some money somewhere.
That's all. Let's just go after it.
Jackie, thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it. We really were able to chop shop, and let's keep pushing. We'll stay in touch. And listen, guys, Jackie Poto, Don't bet against Jackie. There's two people in the world I don't bet against. I don't bet against Elon Musk, and I won't bet against Jackie Poto.
Oh man,
that's right. That's right.
Thanks for the encouragement. I really count on you. See, the work that you're doing is really key in terms of bringing to people the good side of Haiti. It's not just gangs and people dying of hunger.
Right.
There's a lot we can do. We can
action activity. Yeah.
Haiti. If it's not us, then who?
Then who?
If it's not now, then when?
Exactly.
Thank you,
Jackie. Have a great Sunday, man. I appreciate you.
You too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Ciao. That was Jackie Poto. His info, of course, was on screen there, and WhatsApp again right there. Do add him, reach out to him, and there's his email. Reach out to him on his project. Get on board. Right? That's one thing we don't do enough in the community. And trust me, it's investing in Jackie is like investing with me. There's no doubt in the sincerity of what's happening, and I'm telling you, it will get to the finish line. Right? Cycle hyper distribution folks trusted in me, and now we're at a real good place. We're at a real good place, right? And so you get a real good place. That's an early entry opportunity. Get in there and win, right? So yeah, guys. So let's talk about the other stuff, right? So for usually the guests is at the second half of the show, but and we talk about we talk our ish in the first part. Let's talk our ish, right? And there's two things really that I really want to jump into: the Kenya and the canal, right? Kenya and the canal, right? I say Kenya, the intervention and what's happening. In fact, let me go ahead and get IG back on the same page. Get this. I was trying to get them to keep up. There you go. What's up, IG? Welcome back. Welcome back, IG. There we go. All right. And of course, this episode of Live, just so you guys know, if you guys missed the first part, is brought to you by Simple Haitian right now on Amazon. G Shela, Cassava, Bull Chocolat. We got Jonjo. Always laid down. I gotta keep that up. Jonjo. Real quick plug. Yo, we got all the stuff we're bringing out of Haiti and doing real well, and it's just brought to you by, it's great when you're advertising your own stuff. Right. And so we want to talk about those things, Kenya and the canal. So when it comes to intervention, where are we? Right. Since the assassination of Jovenel Moise, we had Ariel Henry in power, Prime Minister Ariel Henry in power, an individual who, I'm fatigued in talking negatively about our leadership. And I think Haitians, we are very much accustomed to, and I think that's everyone. I think everyone, as I look here in the States, maybe Bill Clinton in power, maybe Bush, maybe Biden, maybe even Obama. I think it's inherent in us to complain, right? No matter who is quote unquote in that leadership role. And Haitians are not unique in that. In fact, we're very good with that. I personally made a declaration to myself that the next president, whether or not I like him, whether or not they're ideologically different from myself, as you can understand, I'm gonna say a centralist that leans a little more right, okay, because we're very pro business, right? Very much about the individual making group change rather than the other way around, right? And even that person is completely left, right? Or even further, even super right, okay? I'm looking to support, because we didn't do that last president, right? And sure, the last president ruffled a lot of feathers, right? Certainly wasn't a politician in any true sense of knowing how to navigate politics and I mean, a lot of people angry, everyone angry, right? And made so many folks angry so much that they decided to arm gangs in our country, and basically, said, hey, if they couldn't get what they want, then no one could get what they want. And right now our country is ablaze because of a decision of a small group of people to say, you know what, we tried paid law, we tried paying people to be out in the streets, that didn't work, so we're gonna put, and it's not. I understand it's not the first time in history that's happened. Okay, it's happened under Duvalier with the Totomacoutes, which was a state-backed paramilitary gang, right? That happened during Duvalier. Happened again against Aristide in the Chimare, right? I'm probably saying it wrong, excuse me, but you guys don't know what I'm referring to. Happened under Aristide. And it happened again. It happened again under Jovenel, where you have a concreted effort to use violence to sway politics. And quite frankly, there's another term for it, and it's called terrorism, right? When you use violence for political gains, it's terrorism, right? Now, I'm giving you guys context and background, okay? Because we're talking about the invention, and we can't talk about the invention without understanding the dynamics that got us to where we are today. It's really important to understand that, right? And at the core of it, is that for better or for worse, I haven't seen yet in my many in these 30 plus years. I won't give you the exact age, I'll just give you 30 plus. Right. Working in Haiti, working in private groups, organizations. I've been invited to political meetings in Haiti. I've been invited to organization meetings here. I don't talk about that, right? Because I don't want folks to think I'm have any intention of politics. I don't. At the same time, too, as someone who is very engaged in changing the country, I understand that politics is literally the mechanism of which countries change, right? And so I'm always around, right? I'm always around really because I'm there to learn more than impact, because there is a failure happening somewhere. And in my honest assessment, in years, decades of watching, I've come to the conclusion that Haitians, can't speak to any other group, I only can speak to the group I'm spending time with, do not like to be led. They don't like to be led. And the moment someone is in a leadership role, there's something that occurs of which that causes them to revolt of that leadership, right? And it's a problem for so many reasons, right? And that's one of the things that you see when that leader goes. Everything that leader has done tries to be erased. That's one reason we don't have continuity in Haiti, right? But in particular, I think when we look at prior presidents, for example, Pueval, okay, President Pueval, and he's distinct in the sense that he has been and is one of the few presidents in the history of our country that not only served one term in full, but served 2 terms in full. I mean, he did 5 years, stepped down, passed power, came back, did 5 years, stepped down, came back, right? And it's interesting in that sense, because you have to ask yourself, why didn't the same pushback occur under his presidency versus others, right? And from every conversation I've had with folks, those I've watched of Rival and those I've had privately of Rival, he, gosh, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, right? But he is very well known to be someone who, I want to use the word pushover? I'm not sure I want to use the word pushover, but certainly a lot of Gannett, okay, benefited tremendously while he was in power. There's different ways to look at it, right? There's different ways to look at this, right? There's, you could say that, he was indeed nationalistic in the sense that in every country you look at, okay, in every country you look at, you empower those who are empowered, whether you like it or not, okay. The U.S., when contracts are awarded, I guess the difference you can certainly say is, well, it's certainly a lot more transparent. It's a lot more fair in the sense of how, things are handed out. It's not handed out by friendships or who you know. Okay, fair criticism. By the end of the day, the result is roughly the same, in so much that in the U.S., those who gain major contracts are those who are empowered already, right? And of course, you can sit back and argue the mechanism of which, whether or not it's really different, because, especially now with the era of dark money and political PACs, and the fact that there is a very strong correlation between those who give politically and those who gain politically, right? But we're not here for that level of complexity and conversation. We're not here for that. We're just here to say that the net result is, in every country, that those who are empowered by their government, right? And so you could certainly look at that argument, that side of it, and say, well, that's all what was being done. We were just doing the same thing. We were keeping it domestic. Because at the end of the day, quote unquote, the oligarchs are, for all intents and purposes, in Haiti and Haitian, compared to, giving contracts to, for example, a Cuban company or a Dominican company, right? At the very least, you can say they're of Haiti, right? However strongly you may feel. But you have to agree with that. I'm trying to find the most nationalistic person who's on Twitter. They have to agree with that. They have to agree, at least these oligarchs, versus giving contracts to a Dominican company. At least they're in the country. Okay, so you gotta. I think I'm gonna hear a yes somewhere. Okay, all right, Chris, we'll give you that. Let's go on. Okay, I just want to hear the conversation, hear that person saying it. And in so much of that, you're growing the national base, you're growing the national capacity for business, for construction, as you give these contracts out, right? But it's just really interesting, right, that when you really look back and you look at the energy contract that Jovenel fought against with SeeJeanty, right? You look at a lot of these contracts in terms of how gas was being distributed, gasoline was being distributed in the country. You look at how the telecom industry, and Jovenel talked about this too, how the license was being given away for peanuts. The airway license for 3G and 4G was given away for peanuts, and ultimately he got it up to for them to pay what they pay in other countries, which is millions is what they'll pay for the rights of 3G, 4G, 5G, what it is in a country, versus Haiti. They were paying in the thousands, perhaps, right? Those are the examples, right? And we go on and on and on, right? Those are the examples that we can provide when we say, something is amiss, something is awry in the, ecosystem of the empowered, because the deals are just too good, right? And the deals were good enough to allow an individual to serve multiple terms and complete it. All right. Of course, there's other elements involved too. The fact that there was MINUSTA, the United Nations, around, that certainly helped. That also helped Martelly as well. Having a additional security force. Whether or not you can argue how effective they were, but so much of politics and power is perception, and so having a perception of additional power certainly is helpful, right? Versus not. And Jovenel, unfortunately, was trying to do a lot without any perceived power support. And at the end of the day, I guess he really didn't have any power. If a group of armed people were able to just walk right into his neighborhood, open his door, go into his bedroom, and end his life, I guess you can certainly say that the perception was correct, that he really didn't have support, and not even support of PNH and the armed palace guards that were supposed to protect his life. They just put their guns down and walked away. So I'm giving all this context, to understand how ultimately we got to where we got, with Jovenel effectively not appeasing enough. And we'll never really understand what that looks like, but we get a sense of what it could have looked like by looking at Preval and looking at, okay, he was able to be successful for multiple terms. And what did he have to do? And he kept the empowered, fat, happy, with lots of money in their pocket. And that didn't occur under Jovenel. Jovenel, in fact, was so stingy, he was known not to even tip the people around him. The security officers around Christmas, they get a little something, little some change in their pockets. They didn't even get that, right? Much less the plugging into the corrupt infrastructure that is the Haitian machine, right? And which led them to say, okay, well, we're gonna go against you, and we're gonna use every method that we've known to use. They use pressure from the government, the U.S. government, to try to get him out. They use pressure from the streets to get him out. Pay lock, right? Multiple pay locks. Folks were paid to get out on the street and protest. And then finally, when none of that occurred, we had just a flooding of guns to neighborhoods that were always bad. I mean, you're trying to tell me that Glenavine, Matissans, we always had a bad reputation. Cité Soleil, always had a bad reputation. We knew it was always bad. But you're telling me overnight, it became truly, and generally, I was living in the country. Overnight, guys, it became unlivable. Overnight, it became unlivable. Overnight, these guys had AKs and machine guns and military grade weapons moving in a military grade fashion. I've seen kidnappings where, the way they're positioning themselves behind the car, the way they got that gun held at a certain degree angle, that's Ukraine level. Okay, that's Wagner Group level training that you can kind of see that is atypical of a poor Haitian kid out of the ghetto in Cité Soleil. And what I'm saying here too is, we don't talk. One thing is, SeeJeanty, if you follow us long enough, we don't talk in conspiracy theories. We don't talk in woulda couldas. If I'm saying something, it's because I what I'm saying now, I wasn't saying 2 years ago, because I didn't have enough information to substantiate what I could say. But now, 2 years out, I'm saying what I'm saying because I have enough information to substantiate what I'm saying, right? So I want you to make it very clear, we're not talking about some sort of conspiracy. We're talking about information that has more proof for it to be correct than more proof for it to be incorrect. And in 2 years from now, I may come back and say, you know what I was saying was wrong, because there's new information that has come out that has made me rethink what I was saying. But as I'm talking to you right now on September 17th, the stance that is substantiated is there's been a concentrated effort previously to get a president out, which led to the security situation being where it is, right? And I really had to take time to really dig into that part of it, because it's hard to understand the intervention without understanding the play and being what's happening, because it's not just a bunch of poor black kids in a poor country like Haiti has guns and it's caused insecurity, and someone else can come in, kill them, and everything's going to be fine, right? It doesn't. If anyone is selling you that, they're part of that same corrupt system, right, that caused us to get here in the first place. Understand that, okay? There is a bigger engine occurring in Haiti. Organize it. They'll always try to make you think Haiti is chaotic. There's chaos. There's no order. There's no structure. Everything is just totally random movement, like atoms moving. It's not. Things move purposefully with a first mover, right? And it is not as simple as going in and killing these, chevy guns. It's not that simple, right? There's much more to it. So the intervention that Prime Minister Ariel has been pushing for since coming to office, you can understand his perspective. I always try to play devil's advocate. I always try to, provide a side of empathy. Okay. I just hope folks don't understand that the side of empathy I'm giving is indeed the side I agree with. It's just what I'm just trying to say. Assuming if I did believe you, here's what I would understand in that belief, right? And here's that, is that if you're in a system where the insecurity is caused by an orderly decision by players, right, then it's natural that you can't go against these players. Otherwise, you become a target yourself. You need help. You need help from someone outside the system to clean up that system, because doing it from the inside is really hard and you're extremely vulnerable, right? I.e., ask our good friend Joe Moise, right? You're extremely vulnerable. And so that's where the intervention has value. It has value in so much that you have that aspect of it, of backing up. You got backup to do what you have to do. The issue, I suppose why I don't believe that is that I'm not going to go into the details, right? Because right now, the man's in power. There's a system behind that man in power. I am personally very active in here. I'm not just a talking head, who isn't engaged in the country. I have a real interest in the country, and which is the reason why I can talk more freely about Jovenel, because his era has ended, versus what I'm willing to talk about Primary Henry. Yeah, a lot of folks can look at him as a weak figure, but the reality, he owns the reins of power, and there's a lot of people benefiting from him holding power. There's a lot of people who would be negatively hurt if we understood what the game was with him being in power. It's not in my interest. It's not in my interest to disrupt my interests. What I can say is, go look it up yourself. Go look it up yourself. The information's out there. All right. That connects him with the events of Jovenel. He's been in the system for quite some time. He was a foreign minister, or sorry, I forget which minister, but he was a minister within Martelly's administration. He's a known political actor for quite some time. I think he served twice. You can correct me if I'm wrong. He's definitely served once. Could have even served twice in different governments as a minister, right? And so he's very much part of the ecosystem that didn't like what Jovenel was doing. And in fact, it's understood that he was an opposition prime minister put in place by those pressuring Jovenel to try to build a unity government, quote unquote, to move the country, quote unquote, forward, because there was this complete deadlock. Without these people understanding that there is no middle ground for a lot of these folks playing that game. It's either they're winning 100% or no one's winning. There isn't a middle ground area. Folks don't understand. And one of these days, maybe they'll understand that, right? But that's probably as far as I'm going to go when talking about our good friend, Mr. Henry. But here's the issue. This was yesterday. The United Nations decided that they were not going to move forward with voting on the intervention or interventionary force in Haiti. It's understood that they didn't have the votes. China and Russia, who are Security Council members who could have or have the power to veto, would veto. It was clear, and they didn't want necessarily for that embarrassment or that event to happen. And so they didn't even bring it up because they knew it was just a waste of time. And so right now we're at a place where if there is going to be an intervention, there could still be an intervention. It won't. The chances that it's the United Nations is very unlikely, because if you can't bring it up as a UN Security Council action item to be voted on, you don't have the formal authority of the UN to be able to do that thing. That, of course, has never stopped the U.S. from doing whatever the U.S. wants to do. Let's be clear, right? The U.S. will do what it is the U.S. wants to do when they decide to do it, okay? And for very clear reasons, sourcing from President Biden, who historically has always expressed that he gives two shits about Haiti. You know, he's on record saying Haiti could fall in the middle of the water or rise up 200 feet in the air. It wouldn't change his understanding of America in the least bit. He's expressed it. He stood by it, right? You know, listen, I'm not giving Biden 100% shade. You know, he did do the Biden application program. Someone close to me is here at the moment. So, you know, chances are I may revote for him again. You know, from that perspective of, at the end of the day, listen, I don't know how you vote, but I think most folks vote in terms of what has the person done for me personally, positively, right? That's a big parameter for me. And the secondly, of course, is what I think the person is going to do for Haiti. Listen, I'm as self-interested as the next guy. All right. And if you're not voting that way, shame on you. You know, you need to be voting. You shouldn't vote party lines. You need to vote in a way, okay, well, how is this person going to help me? And how is this person, and if that person really isn't, I don't see a big, clear difference of how this person is going to help me. How can this person help the group of people I identify with? That's how I console anyone to vote. Biden has helped me personally. I'm seeing friends and family, you know, get out of a very tough situation. And Haiti's in a tough situation through the Biden program, right? So I kind of go to that little tangent just to say, I don't have what I'm about to say isn't coming from a place of disdain for Biden, but he said it. He said it. He said he really gives two shits about the country of Haiti. He said it. Go look it up. Go type in Biden, Haiti, falling in the water. Google YouTube. You'll be surprised. You haven't watched it yet. It'll boil your blood. He said it. Right? Is the U.S. going to engage? Again, probably not. Not with Biden in office. Right? And so where are we? Where are we right now with the intervention? Where are we? We're in this weird situation. We have a prime minister who's unpopular, unwilling to engage directly with the. Let's put it like this: he's uninspiring, right? He doesn't inspire the population to do what's necessary. Now, the population doesn't need to be inspired, just FYI. I mean, when you look at Boakale was a grassroots movement where countless Bunzi were killed by the population. And they were going into Bunzi areas, bunnies that they came across would not live to see another day. That should show you that Haitians are more than ready and willing to take the initiative of their own. If there wasn't upside down situation where the good guys can't get guns, but the bad guys can get military grade guns, I think right now we wouldn't have a insecurity situation, right? Even the PNH struggle to get weaponry. If you guys have been watching the news, I mean, how they got Humvees from Canada that within a week were breaking down. Within a week. The Humvees, these multi-million Humvees that were being purchased, within a week, Bundy's, the bandits, figured out that they're going to shoot the tires. And then, at which point Canada realized, oh, we probably should have gave you bulletproof or bullet capable tires. Our bad. Like what? So normally you can't get good weaponry, and the weaponry you do get, are useful for the environment of which they were gotten for, right? So even the PNH can't get weapons. I think if we can get listen, I don't know how Muscadin feels about us talking to him about him like this, but to me, it's very clear that there isn't a real desire to organically, internally solve our issue. Because if you were genuinely interested in solving our issue, which, by the way, what I'm trying to get to is right now we're in a place where help isn't coming, and so either you do one or two things: you decide and understand help isn't coming, and you finally decide to really engage the bandits by any means necessary. I'll say any means necessary. I mean literally, if it means pissing off daddy, Uncle Sam, and getting guns wherever and however you can get guns, right? Put them in the hands of PNH, putting them in the hands of FADH, our military armed forces, the military of Haiti, which I'm going to talk about. We haven't talked about yet, but we're going to talk about that. Putting in the arms, putting someone like a Muscade as the head chief of Port-au-Prince, but then also give him the resources. We can solve this issue, right? But do you have the courage to piss off, and you will piss them off, the United States, France, Germany, the core group, right? Because for different reasons, they do not believe the Haitians can solve their own issue, right? as time has gone on, when this initial round of insecurity was occurring, that maybe I agreed with him. Listen, I don't hide the fact that I believe one thing one time and I believe something else tomorrow. But the difference, the big thing you understand is the changes of my perspectives are determined by evidence and new facts and things I've witnessed and things I've learned. And between then and now, I've witnessed the willingness of Haitians to solve their own problems. I've witnessed it multiple times. I've learned that we are dishonest children. We really are. We are dishonest children. We are capable of solving our own issue in front of anything and anyone. You can be France, the number one military power, when in the history of the world, it's Rome, and then right there in the top three is Napoleon's France. We beat them. And don't forget, we beat Britain, Spain, right? Don't forget that, right? We're descendants of that. I know we always talk about. They always bring that. Oh, here we go again. Here's 1804. Yeah, we're gonna bring it back. Yeah, we're gonna bring it back because we got to be reminded of that. It's really important to understand. We stood in front of the greatest empires and we defeated them. And now today you're telling me we can't get rid of a couple poor kids in the ghetto? What? We can't stop that? We have to wait for intervention? What are you talking about right now? It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. What we lack in actuality is the willingness and lack of resources to solve that issue. I mean, shoot. I mean, I know a couple Haitian Americans right now. If Uncle Sam wouldn't label them a terrorist, right, and slap felonies on them, they would arm themselves here in the States and take care of this issue in the ghettos right now. So it's not the lack of will or capacity. We have entities in place preventing us from moving forward. That's why it's going to take a leader in a position like a prime ministership to say, you know what? Okay, we tried. Listen, we tried. It's been, Jovenel died in 2021. It's 2023. It's been over 2 years. We've tried, and we've tried, and we've tried. And Kenya said they wanted to do it. Kenya came. The Kenya delegation came. They spent 3 days going up and down, and ultimately just to offer and say that, you know what, we'll secure these areas. We're not going out to do anything else. We're just going to sit here in these areas. We don't need that. We need Haiti to be livable again. We tried it. Kenya isn't going to help. No one wants to help. Now it's on us. Don't get in our way. We need a leader like, I know I'm going to butcher his name. I'm sorry, guys. Bukele in El Salvador. We need that energy. We need that energy. We need that guy to come in and say, yo, West, appreciate you. No disrespect. We still want you here. We still come visit, but we got to solve our own issue. And we're going to solve it our own way. And the human rights and all that, listen, it's a bigger human right when regular citizens are being randomly terrorized. That's a bigger human right than going after gangsters. It's a bigger human right where to go through parts of your country, you have to pay tolls to gangsters who will kidnap you. That is a bigger, there's levels to it. There's levels to it, right? And it's not black and white. You need a leader to be able to say that, to say, I feel you, but human right person that's giving me feedback right now, cool. All right, check this out. Why don't you go to my son right now? Before and after. And after I clean it up, they go back and you let me know You do your mathematics on human rights at that point. We need to do like that. You like that. What's next, or what should be next, should be a complete armament, total armament of our military and our police force to solve this current issue. Nothing less will get us out of the situation we're in. How long are we going to wait for a quote unquote intervention? Yeah, I know right now the canal is top of the headlines. We're going to talk about the canal in a bit, but meanwhile, Port-au-Prince is still ablaze in insecurity. I'm on the phone just yesterday talking with the supplier of a new product we're trying to bring out of Haiti, and supplier said straight up, Chris, yeah, listen, I need a minimum order from you that can at least fill a truck, because I'm gonna have to pay tolls to gangs for that product to leave my factory to you where you're located in Port-au-Prince. I'm gonna have to go through gang territory. I have to pay them, and so the money I'm gonna make needs to be high enough to cover those tolls. It just doesn't make any sense. That's yesterday. The country's still in that state. Right? That is unsustainable. That cannot persist. And it cannot persist. It shouldn't have persisted this long, and it cannot persist another year. It cannot persist another 2 years, and that cannot persist as however long Prime Minister Ariel Henry has in his head to be in that role. He needs to do one of two things. He needs to either step down, step aside for someone who has the courage to stand up against the powers that be, to do what's right for the country and for the people. If he can't do it, he should do it. If he can't do it, he needs to step aside. And that includes arming the military, arming the police, empowering those with the volunteer. I forgot to say that in Creole. The engagement to do the work. And that's where we're at. I mean, that's the update. I hope I gave you guys enough context. I know a lot of good folks were Chris. We need an analysis. That's what it was. That's what there you have it. We need an analysis, and that's what it was. There's details, of course, that I skipped over. There's a video coming out on this that's going to have a bit more detail of the gangs and the situation, and so look out for that. But I just want to have a frank conversation in terms of where we are and where we need to go, and where we were, where we are, where we need to go. And right now, we need leadership. We need leadership because we're ready for the change. Folks are ready to help out with the change. But we have a person in a position right now unwilling to open the floodgates, turn the valve, and let those floodgates open. And that's where we are. Let me look into the chats and comments real quick. I know you guys, this conversation we're having, I'd love to hear what you guys have responded with. Let me take a look at the chat, see what you guys are saying. So, what's up, Terry Daniel? If I haven't said what's up yet, LF. We got Agaz. Agaz in the house, excuse me. Let's see. We got UA Ubuntu in the house. First time seeing you. Happy to come out of Jacksonville. Happy to have you in the chat. All right. Terry Daniel says a decentralized Port-au-Prince is the key to stabilizing the greater metro. I totally agree with you. All right. We got Shilling P saying they're interested in real estate. Definitely reach out to Jackie Poteau from our previous conversation. All right. Let's see. WBA says you've exposed me to Haiti. I plan to come back to preach the gospel, enjoy my country, also spend time going years fishing. This and Haiti takes a lot of hands. It's going to take a lot of hands to get Haiti to where it is. You know, however you feel is the right way to help Haiti, I think you're not wrong, right? Haiti's a big elephant, and I think we all should be engaged in however we think is the right way, right? As long as we're helping, right? I saw that comment of Sendoming in the canal. We got Laku Magazine saying, how is the market for commercial real estate, particularly areas of Cap Haitian and Jacmel? So I think the market for any real estate, commercial and personal, just really quick. I don't want to stay in the topic vein I was, but just really quick. There's opportunities, but you're not going to just fly in, go to a realtor, and find them. At least not the deals, right? I think it takes time. You can still use a realtor, but later, once they live in the country, build a network, had a chance to hear a few deals presented to you, and then you can gauge what is a real deal and what's not a real deal, right? I think just the very fact that you're asking means you're not ready for it. If you get what I'm saying, like, for example, I purchased, I already owned through my family land, but then I additionally purchased land in Haiti, which I'm under title. I have title. I have all my paperwork. I'm good. And I only did that after years of living in there. And even then, I did it through a very close network of friends and family, right? To ensure that any issues that could have come about, and issues did come about, we're able to sit at a table, just like I'm saying, sit at a table and handle it as adults, friends, and family, right? And if you can't do it that way, don't do it. Period. Right? Now, that said, that's why opportunities like what Jackie's doing is a great alternative, because Jackie's doing that, right? Jackie is the person sitting at that table, ensuring the deal gets done. Meanwhile, you're still benefiting from a financial perspective. You see what I'm saying? But if you're talking about personally for yourself, if you're asking, then it's too late. You shouldn't be involved. Let's see what else. GoFund Haiti in the house. What's up? Make sure to visit GoFundHaiti.com. It's a great website. Lots of opportunities, right? Lots of opportunities to invest and impact, as we're talking about today. They were here before, by the way. Do check out the interview. Let's see. We need more reputable companies. Yep. So these, I guess this was part from the real estate segment. Let me jump down a bit to the conversation we just had. Or people have a distrust of each other and don't have a community mentally. It's hard for Haitians to see the collective efforts benefit. We're held back by a scarcity mentality, and I'm gonna, I listen. I don't disagree with guys. I don't, because I've seen it. I think that's a big thing we have to work through as a community. When you see communities like Little Haiti going south, being gentrified, we have what's preventing a group of Haitians professionals from putting together a $250,000 fund. And it may sound like a lot of money, but it's not. It's $10K here, $10K there, $10K here, $10K there, and buying a property, fixing it up, either flipping it, selling it to another Haitian, or holding it, Section 8, and continuing to contribute and rolling a portion of the rent, towards newer projects. What's preventing us from doing what other communities do, right? And that goes back to a lack of sense of responsibility for our community outside of May 5th Flag Day, right? But that said, I think One thing that's allowed hyper distribution to be successful is that, for example, the folks I'm selling to from a wholesale perspective, and as I grew the business, the biggest support I got has always been with Haitians, actually, in this domain. So on a pseudo individual level, we Haitians are ready to work with each other from a business perspective and do well, which is good. But I think that's that next level of community is lacking, and community organizing and a social and providing and attributing leadership to someone within that circle, and not be resentful. I think that's what I mean when I say there is a huge gap versus other communities. There isn't that causistic dynamic, right? Thanks, Agaz, for the comment. Terry Daniel, those oligarchs might as well be from other countries because the homegrown oligarchs certainly don't give two shits about Haiti. They're the ones who plundered Haiti and to what is not. I mean, listen, I've been in many circles in my time in Haiti. I met a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds, from a lot of different economic levels. Certainly, I think there has been opportunities for that class to invest in a way that could help Haiti more, right? But understand that class, for better or for worse, are extremely shrewd business people. And the most shrewd business people don't have loyalties beyond their interests. And I say this because it's true no matter what country. In America, it's not because the American business person who's in that bourgeois class is super American. Okay. It's because the government has incentivized their activities to be in line with what's going to help the state. Regrettably, Haiti hasn't had that. Haiti hasn't had that dynamic where we had the heads of state work on aligning the interests of that class to also be in line with Haiti. In fact, when in '87, when that whole period was happening, we had a big push of neoliberalism in economics, where we want to open it up and allow imports in. That's when the whole Bill Clinton thing happened with the rice, decimating our rice. So you had a big push from the powers that be to directly influence our politicians, who then did not protect, or if anyone, just let's put it another way. Let's say you were that one oligarch who wanted to do the right thing. You would be destroyed. Your interest in what you invested in would have been destroyed vis-a-vis the fact that in the early 90s, you had this incredible push for importation by the Clintons, by the World Bank, by the IMF. You had this incredible push of neoliberalism. And so I say that to respond to Terry Down and say, yes, there is an element of them deciding to not go into business that help the country, that build up our domestic national capacity, build up our agriculture. There is that, but there also the other side of that of, if they did, they would have a much harder time to be successful, almost 0%. Nothing's 100% sure of failure, because you can overcome, but the uphill fight then, and arguably even now, is to go in business lines that are easier. I mean, listen, I know a lot of Haitians that do pepe. They buy chumpa, cheap clothes. They import it into Haiti. And why is it better to do it that way? Because the economics of fast fashion and the clothing industry makes it much more economical to do that rather than buy sewing machines and bring them to Haiti and have Haitians create their own fashion. So that's what I mean. Like there's things that exist in our economy right now, both purposeful by policy, and also just by the economics of 2023 that make it so that if you're a shrewd businessman, and if you can really understand what I mean, like when I say shrewd, like you look at the bottom line, you look at the trends that are occurring, right? And you have to get on that wave. That's just how it works. It just wouldn't make sense to do certain business lines, and it's regrettable for Haiti that also means not doing businesses that assist in our national production or national capacity, right? Doesn't make it right. Doesn't mean I agree with it. I just want to provide that perspective. That's all. That's the thing I want you to understand. I just want you to understand that perspective of it, right? That said, I'm always going to do what I need to do. That's why we got Simple Science Brand back here. We're building industries that export, that are building our agriculture. We're doing that, and we're winning. All right. That's just how I'm built. I'm not necessarily chasing the bottom line, right? I'm chasing something bigger. Do you understand? But that also, to be honest, makes me less of a businessman, because a businessman seeks the bottom line first. So take that for however you want to take it. That's just the reality of it. That's just the reality of it. We're gonna talk about the canal dispute for sure. We're gonna jump into it. I don't know if I got time. Actually, we took so much time in the canal. Maybe I'll save the canal for next week. But I'll talk about that in just a moment. I want to get through the comments, and at the very least, we'll talk about that part of where to donate funds. Right. James Lubin, 100%. There is no political will to solve the issue. I think, and more or less, that's a great way to summarize the whole conversation I did. Right. I totally agree with you there. Yeah. I can understand why you said that. Certainly something like that, right? Something like that, a meeting of different folks, right? But at the same time, too, I don't agree with that, because I feel it's just start with Haitians. And then folks can come in and assist, but, Haitians need to take the lead, with everything. And then folks can just plug into it, So that's what they've been doing, actually. Elena says, where are the guns coming from? Actually, I give the administration credit from that perspective, that they've very much have been doing a much more aggressive job of checking containers, and finding guns, and just making it harder for that route to be used. They're using other routes, but that route has been very difficult for folks, and that was the easiest route and most efficient route to get guns in the country. And so they've been doing that, at least. So we'll give them that. We'll give them that. It's the places that could have gotten Bois-Calais have, and they've seen a decrease in kidnapping and insecurity somewhat. But the problem is there's areas that are very clearly gang controlled, and you cannot go after gangsters with sticks and machetes. As cute as we were making it at the time, when they're in their baz, right, their real territory, and they have an AK well positioned undercover, I'm sorry, you're not going to make a difference in that particular area. And that's kind of where we're at right now. We're in a spot where the statistics of kidnapping and insecurity across the larger city has decreased tremendously because of Bois-Calais, and has remained much lower than where it was before. But the gangs are still lodged in certain areas, and that's a problem, right? So this is interesting. We had any charisma of Guy Philippe, who the people love, but also someone who understands the politics completely. You know, it's funny. Like um, when I go around, I did a series in Jeremy, and this is Guy Philippe was arrested at the time. Was in prison at the time. I can tell you that um, everywhere I went in Jeremy, in that Grandas area, like when they talked about Guy Philippe, there was something in the way they talked about him. Right? They had something of esteem and reverence for Guy Philippe. And so when you say that people love him, I don't disagree with you. At least the people from his area, I mean, people would unsolicited mention, oh yeah, this is Guy Philippe this is Guy Philippe's. Yeah, he used to come through and yeah, Guy Philippe used to, they used to like tell just out of nowhere, just talk about how they crossed paths with him and how he used to do certain things and even though he ultimately was moved to La Tibonite Valley, after such after a period, um, they still, and this is back in I think it was 2020. They still were talking extremely reverent of them, and so um, that alone is a conversation for a much deeper dive we can talk about the potential impact of Guy Philippe. In fact, I think that I'll make that as a business a video idea to talk about Guy Philippe and what he could potentially do. But my personal perspective is I don't think Guy Philippe will. I personally think Guy Philippe may not want to. I think if I'm a betting man, I'd love to be proven wrong, but I think Guy Philippe is going to go the route of iced. He's going to move back to this country and be real quiet, right? But I'll leave it there. I can go much longer with Guy Philippe. I will leave it there. Are just shrewd. Terry Daniel feels very strongly one way. I hear you. And you are justified to feel the way you do, right? Because at the end of the day, the track record is we're in a situation economically that isn't good for Haiti. So, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was reading this comment here, and I don't know. I think I don't know. Human nature. I think I'm a little more pessimistic on human nature. I think you guys are giving human nature a little too much. You guys are a little too optimistic in human nature, because based the premise of that comment there on screen here is that other oligarchs of other countries are more home front nationalistic versus ours. I don't agree. I think all oligarchs are the same. They're all totally, completely self-interested, period. Very few actually care about country. They care about interests. I mean, listen, the most successful business people are borderline narcissists, psychopaths. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm big about entrepreneurship, but the ones that rise to the top, you have to have something wrong with you. You have to be extremely, because there's business decisions you have to do to protect the business but hurt the individual within your business. Not everybody can do that. Not anybody can do certain decisions. And people will talk about that. People who are more empathetic will talk about how they can't be business people because they ran a business up to a point where they had to look into the eyes of their secretary that started with them, that's been working with them 20 years, they've been invited to their that secretary's the child's birthday party, you know, and the second child's bar mitzvah, right? And they got to look into the eyes of that secretary. And the moment where COVID hits, they got to look in the eye of that secretary and say, hey, Miss Secretary, you're fired. You know, that's the idea. That's the idea. It takes a certain person to be able to do stuff like that. Okay. And it's not an empathetic person. And on the converse of that, the person who is most detached from those sort of emotions can make and can also make the most logical, evidence, fact-based decisions for their business are those who are going to be successful in business. And it also leads as logical that the further detached and the most detached iteration of that is a narcissist/psychopath. Listen, don't be watching this as a successful business person in Haiti. And I'm not telling you you're a narcissist or psychopath, but understand where I'm coming from and understand why I'm telling you the oligarchs and the economic powers that be in Haiti aren't particularly unique in their selfishness. It is just a fact of the capitalist society we live in, right? And so I don't agree. I think you guys think that there's other people in other countries that they don't have that, but just you don't understand what it takes to be successful and you know, at that level consistently, and not just by having a small little hot dog stand, but being an industrialist. There's levels to it, right? So, but in any case, we'll agree to disagree. You know, we'll agree to disagree. You know, I'm not going to go back and forth, but we'll agree to disagree. But you know, take it from me as someone who has had a lot of business contact with business people of extreme degrees of success and wealth. They're nice people, but don't cross them. That's all I'm gonna say. They're real nice people, but don't get between them and the bag, because they're not your friends if you get between them and their bag. And you can be an individual or you can be a country. And I don't care. You may only have experience with Haitians, but go to Jamaica and get in between the bag of someone in Jamaica. Act like, as if you're Jamaican, right? Go to the DR and be a Dominican and get in front of a Dominican oligarch and get between you and the bag. You'll find out real quick if they're friendlier to you or not. I'm going through IG real quick. Where are the guns coming from? Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that at length. They're not just showing up. They're not being manufactured, right? They're coming from those people who are giving it to them. Let's see. You missed a special guest. Yeah, you missed it. You missed it. We issued the special guest a little earlier than usual. So it's going to be on our live, pre-recorded. You're going to be able to see it afterwards. Okay. All right. So that's it in terms of that topic. And thanks for those providing the feedback. I appreciate it. I appreciate your perspective. We all can have different perspectives. That's welcomed here. And respected, and we can always end the conversation just by saying we agree to disagree, we agree to look at things differently, right? That's fine. That's okay. So let's talk about our next topic, and I've decided that I'm gonna have to talk about it next Sunday, assuming the wife hasn't had the kid yet, right? As you guys know, we're expecting. But if I'm able to get here, we'll talk about the canal in depth. But I just want to talk about, because I know one of the big things that folks have been asking is, Chris, when we want to provide money, who could you recommend? So this is too important for folks who understand there's a canal being built. There's a lot of consternation from the Dominicans about the flow of the water. And this has been just a very positive experience for us in a period where we haven't had much positive. And what's really nice about this is, is the fact that it's community built, it's grassroots, and folks are coming together to do something. This is a very rare instance where folks are coming together to build. Usually in the entire history that I've confronted in Haiti, I've seen in convicts, right? But in terms of at the national level, it's the first time I've ever seen. I think a lot of Haitians have ever seen what we're capable of. Which is coming together to build, not coming together to manifestation, excuse me, coming down to destroy, but coming together to build. And gosh, I mean, it just hits different. I've never been prouder to be Haitian than what we're seeing right now. And I think a lot of people resonate and can feel that and can agree with that. And I think a lot of Haitians, if they could, the security situation would be flying in themselves. Probably there's Haitians that already did that. They flew in the OCOP and probably right now in Wadamet providing, right? And so a lot of folks who perhaps can't fly or unable to, want to be able to at least donate and assist, right? So this project's too important for me to get it wrong, right? It's too important to get it wrong. There's a very popular influencer, Haitian influencer. I'm not going to say their name. I'm not looking to start beef, that provided the contacts of someone to give money to. And when I asked and I found out, I said, hey, so what sort of vetting did he do? And someone I know who's close to that person, close enough anyways, said that he just asked a friend, and the friend told him, friend told him that this guy's on the ground and doing stuff. That is not the vetting I'm doing. Okay. The vetting I'm doing is I'm looking at their legal documents. I'm having them send me prior contracts with USAID and making sure that they were an organization on the ground doing work even before. Okay. I am reaching out to some contacts I have at USAID and stuff like that to say, hey, have you worked with this organization? Have you worked with this group? Can you substantiate that? Right? That's one. Because I don't want to work with a person. I want to work with the organization, right? That's on the ground doing stuff and will persist after this movement's over, right? I'm making sure that I'm following the conversation, because there is a group that actually I'm a part of in the WhatsApp where these conversations are ongoing. And I'm seeing the work they're doing with the money they're getting currently. Okay. I'm having daily to semi-daily, every other day, conversations with how things are going on the ground and how things are moving, and understanding how the current money they're getting is moving. In other words, I'm very slow to provide this person until I've seen myself who this person is. I didn't know this person. That's why I just had Jackie Poto. I have Jackie Poto on, and I can stand behind Jackie because I know Jackie. I know, and he has a track record, and I've seen that track record. I've seen what he can do. And so SeeJeanty is never going to recommend someone or something that, especially in this context. It's one thing to highlight businesses and stuff. I mean, what can you ever know, really, when you highlight a business, right? Or you go somewhere, you can only see what they show you at the end of the day. But when it comes to something like this, where I'm asking you to take money out your pocket to give to initiative, where you guys are asking because you want to know that it's going to and really be impactful. Because the last thing I want to hear, a year from now, is we have a Red Cross situation, right? I don't want a situation where, Chris, we gave cumulatively $10,000 and only one house is built, as an example, right? And that can still happen, by the way, but it's not because of lack of effort. It's not because of I didn't do vetting, right? It's not because it's just that this other person perhaps was really was a Sam Bankman-Fried Brinkman fraud. The guy who runs FTX was a really but I don't believe that. I believe that I believe I'm a very good judge of character. I'm doing everything I need to be doing on my side so that when I recommend that person, you can with full faith and confidence, know that this is someone you can give your money to. This is someone who is going to, from the moment that money hits their account, within hours to within days, will have additional bricks, additional sand, food for the workers, and be impacting right away. And if the right amount of money is raised, then they'll be providing real equipment to get things going, depending on how much they raise, right? So that's what I want to update right now, is that I'm working on it. In fact, we're putting the video together Monday, Tuesday. I'm actually going to be interviewing this person on camera. They're going to be in the video, okay, that we're preparing. And probably towards the end of the week, I'm not even going to wait for the video to come out. Towards the end of the week, make sure you're following my Instagram. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, SeeJeanty, and also my personal page, Jeanty Chris, on Twitter. Make sure you're following me there. Even on YouTube, in the community tab, I'll make an announcement saying, here's who you should donate to. Here's why I believe you should donate to them. Just to get that going. And then once the video comes out, you'll get much more detail of that person and of that individual. All right. So that's how I want to end today's live. Just to share, bear with me on that. I want to get it right. And I think you guys want to get it right too. And I don't want to just get, emotional and jump to the first person who presented me contacts. I've been talking to 2 different people. And the person I'm moving forward with is the person that I felt to be the most professional and most genuine and sincere in what they want to do. You know what I mean? So that's where I want to be. And so that's where we're at. I want to thank you guys for today, for being part of the live. Been here for 2 hours plus. So thank you. It's been always a pleasure. We're out here, we're working. Just know. Those who like what we got going on here, do subscribe, do share this video. If it's your first time here, do share this live. I think if you gained and benefited from our conversation today, I think it's imperative that we get more folks in this community of I mean, listen, I was feeling a certain way last night, and I wrote what I wrote. When I wrote last night, I said, hey, my community may not be in the thousands, right? Even it is, but it's about quality. And the folks who are part of this community are quality people, right? It's about actually figuring out. I'm not buying your face, as Haitians say. I am not buying your face, but I'm just being genuine from what I've seen. With my and what I've been told. I've been told that when folks come on SeeJeanty, they tell me, like, Chris, I went to another platform that had thousands of concurrent viewers, hundreds of thousands of views after the fact. But when I came on your platform, your program, came into your community, I saw the most sales, I saw the most donations, I've seen the most engagement that I've seen. And it's hard for them to understand, but I understand it because we got quality over here. We got doers over here. We got actioneers over here. We got people who brought that action over here. So it doesn't surprise me. Well, it surprised me for in the beginning, but it doesn't surprise me anymore. In fact, I expect it, right? And so I just wanted to say that to thank you guys who watch on the Sundays. Since I've been back, who've been watching even before, who are subscribed, who share my videos, who DM me. Sometimes I may not be able to respond, but I read them, and continue to be part of this community because generally there is no other place on the internet for Haitians doing real work than the SeeJeanty community. I don't see it. So I want to give yourself a pat on the back. Thank you for it. Right. As always, do check out the products in the back here, the Simple Science products. Definitely check it out. I just dropped the link. It's on Amazon. If you're on IG, you can go into the first tab, the first one, the pin graphics, and you see the cassava, for example. And from there, you'll be able to go to Amazon and see a lot of our other products. Alternatively, you can go to SeeJeanty.com/shop. SeeJeanty.com/shop, right? And you'll be able to get not only this book, 101 Ways to Make Money in Haiti, Lucrative Business Ideas, insightful success stories, and interesting business opportunities for visionary entrepreneurs, but also you'll be able to see these products and also buy them, right? Also, check out the private WhatsApp group. It's a community where these conversations that we had today continue. Quite frankly, it's probably been the most instrumental in improving my worldview. The folks who are participating and sharing and communicating in there have been instrumental to me. In addition to the fact that I'm in there 24/7. I'm reading, I'm commenting, I'm responding. So those of you guys who have hit me up in the DMs wanting to collaborate directly, listen, it's an exchange, right? Where for a monthly fee, you're helping support this, you're helping support my media employees in Haiti. And in addition, you're plugged in officially in the community to help you with what you're doing, and also just staying in the know better. So do check out the private WhatsApp group. We have monthly rates and annual rates. And then finally, hyperdistribution.com. It's the website where a lot of the export activity that we're doing, you can plug in, you can become a wholesaler, and just learn and just be on top of the posts of how we're moving, how we're grooving, right? So that's where we're at. Today was the 17th of September. We had an incredible conversation. Next week will be a much deeper dive on the canal, right? And if you saw how deep into the meat and potatoes we got on the intervention, you can expect the same thing for the canal. So don't miss that episode. And if I, for some reason or not, I can't make the next episode, you'll know. Stay on IG, stay on Twitter. I'll make an announcement, that there isn't a Sunday show. But until then, assume there's a Sunday show. Guys, that's it. We appreciate you. We'll be back at it again. We're back at it again. Peace.